Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to cover exception handling in this Python programming series where usually we deal with errors while writing codes, right? So now here we are going to handle the errors, how does the errors occurs, how to handle those errors and how we can create the errors. Okay, now without any delay, we are going to dive into the concept. First of all, exception handling. First, understand that what is an error means. Error is a problem that stops normal execution of a program. So that what, right? The program is running. When error occurred, the program automatically stops running and it stores and it shows the particular error, right? As usual way, what is meant by exception? Exception means is simply an error. So error and exception both are the same, but that happens while the program is running. Okay, an exception is simply an error that happens while the program is running. So what type of errors we have? Actually, the most repeated errors that we usually see are value error, zero division error, and the type error. These are the most repeated errors that we usually see while we are running the programs. Okay, so when error is occurred, the program stops completely and it may crashes. Okay, to avoid that type of crashing, here we are going to apply this exception handling in our program. Okay, for that the basic syntax how we can apply the exception handling is by using these blocks try, except, and then the finally, where these are the keywords were used to handle these errors. Okay, try is nothing but try this risky code means when we write any code here, the try block must execute that code. If any error get occurred, the except block is going to handle that error. It means that by using this except block, we are going to handle that errors without crashing down of the program. Okay, if an error occurred, then handle it, don't stop executing the program. Even the error occurs, it completes the execution of the program. Okay, it does not crashes the program. Okay, and finally block, it always the whatever statement that is written in this final block will always executes, because even the error is occurred or not occurred, it always print the statement in this finally block. Okay, as usual way, the most repeated errors now here we are going to see, they are nothing but zero division error. Actually, when does zero division error get occurs? When we divide a value with a zero. When this denominator is zero, then you usually see zero division error. Okay, so how to handle this type of errors? For that, here we have try block, where I have taken input from this user asking two numbers and division is nothing but n1 divided by n2. Now here we are going to handle that error by using this except block zero division error. It means that if n2 is equals to 0, then it does not crashes the program, it prints the statement which is under this except block. Okay, if the input is not a integer, if it is a string, then it going to handle value error. Okay, now we are going to run this in our VS code, where by visualization we can understand it. And finally block is nothing but it always runs even the error occurred or not occurred, whatever the program may be. So the statement which is written in this finally block will definitely prints. Okay, error names always are capital letters. Okay, that is one of the rule here. They are going to use the camel case, where all these errors are starting with a capital letters, because when we dive into the whoops concept in this Python, we are going to understand the reason, because the errors are classes in this Python. So that is the reason why they always start with a capital letter. When we go into the whoops concept, object oriented programming, then we are going to understand that. Okay, so in similar way, handling multiple exceptions in a single except block, we are going to handle combination of two errors. One is value error and the type error. Okay, we are going to run this program. Just wait. Now, how you can create the error? So usually the most common thing that human beings have, that they are going to create errors, right? So how you can create error? So we can create our own errors. Okay, by using this keyword rise. Rise is a keyword which we are going to rise the error. Okay, we are going to rise the problem by using this. This is the simple code. If n1 is less than 0. If user enter negative number, then it automatically gives the error. Rise, we are going to print this negative value. Negative value is nothing but error name, and this is the print statement. It execute this statement. Okay, so now let's run this error exception handling in our VS Code. First, take input from this user asking a number, right? Int of input, enter a value. Okay, enter n1. This is the usually input taking from this user asking two values. Okay, now here we are going to perform the arithmetic operations between these two numbers. Suppose where sum is equals to n1 plus n2. Okay, this is the sum of the two numbers, and when occurs division, division is equals to n1 divided by n2. Now here we are going to print them. Print. Now let's run this program and let's see what does we get as a output. What if user entered, suppose it asks n1, right? Let me enter n1 as 10. Now let me enter n2 as 0. What does we get as output? So see, it gives that division n1 by n2, 0 division error, division by 0. This is actually the error. Error is occurred and the program crashes here. The program can't execute. So now here we are going to handle this error by using this try except block. Okay, delete this code and use this keyword try. As usual way, take input from this user asking enter a value, right? So now here we have taken input from this user asking two numbers. We are going to handle these errors. So for that, first print division, where division is equals to n1 divided by n2. Okay, now here we are going to handle that errors by using this except block expect. So what does actually we get error? Suppose 0 division error, right? So except 0 division error. So we are going to print the statement. If it get occurred 0 division error, then print this statement. Don't stop executing the program. Suppose print denominator is not 0. Please enter a valid value. If error get occurred, if 0 division error get occurred, then print the statement. Okay, now let's run this program and let's see. It asks that enter a value. Let me enter 8 and b value as 0. It gives that denominator is not 0. Please enter a valid number. So what does it means? That before the program crashes due to 0 division error. Now here by using this try and except block, we are going to handle that 0 division error. The program does not crashes and it prints the statement which is in the except block. In a similar way, now again let's run this program, and what does we get? Another type of error. So enter a value. Usually we have taken input from this user as a integer. Now let's suppose give any string. Suppose let me give a python as a input string. It gives that value error because invalid literal for int with a base 10. It means that usually we have asked an input from this user integer, but user has given string as a input. Now we get a output error, that is nothing but value error. How to handle these errors? So now suppose create another except block. Let me what kind of error we have seen, that is nothing but value error, right? So error name is value error. We are going to print the statement. Print please enter a valid value. Okay, now let's run this program and let's see what does we get as a output. So here the program crashes by using this except block. We are going to see, suppose it asks that enter a value, right? Let me again enter a string. Okay, it gives that please enter a valid value. Okay, this is how the errors get occurred. This is how which we are going to handle it. Okay, now these are the two kinds of errors. One is 0 division error, another one is value error. So we have different kind of errors. Let me suppose explain a different kind of errors, right? Index error. As usual way, how does we get as a index error? Index, do you know index? When you go through the data structures like list, where list is equals to 1 2 3 4, these are the list of elements. List is used to store the elements. Now we are going to print list of the seventh index, the element in the seventh index. Actually There are no 7 elements in the list, but we are going to print that. What it gives? Index error, list index out of range. How we are going to handle this type of errors? For this, use try block, try, and then simple by using this except. Okay, for that we must use another block, that is nothing but except index error. Okay, index error, we are going to print the statement print. What does we are going to print? Print, please enter a valid index. Okay, let me suppose take in index from this user, where I is equals to int of input enter a index. Okay, now let us run this program and let's see what does we get as a output. It asks that enter a index, right? Let me enter a index as 8. It gives that please enter a valid index. Before that the program crashes. By using this except block, we are going to handle that kind of errors. So this is the zero division error, index error, and the value errors. So now here we are having type errors. So how to handle this type error? So type error is nothing but when we are going to add, for suppose a is equals to 10 and b is equals to let me take a string python. Now let us print a plus b. What does we are going to get at? We are going to add a integer with a string. Okay, is it possible? No, it's going to give the type error, unsupported operand, because one is integer, one is string. So how does it possible? But here we can handle that kind of errors by using this try and except block. Okay, if you want, you can take input from this user asking enter a string, enter a integer. Okay, have taken input from this user. By using this except type error, okay, type error, we are going to print the statement print. Let's run this program and let's see what does we get as a output. Okay, check the data type of a value. Okay, before we have got a type error, now the type error is get handled. So these are the different types of errors. So in this file handling we are having different type of errors. So in our next video we are going to cover all these concepts. Thank you. If you have any doubts, please go through the comment section. Okay.